I want you to listen very carefully to what was said and what wasn't walked back.
Remember how much power nurses have in this country? One of our own was just murdered in the street. So, we might be able to stop this somehow. Thoughts?
Good morning. Did you know most ICE agents don't wear their plates properly? I've seen it.
You know, as the type of ICU nurse I was cardiac ICU nurse. And I did a lot of time, lots of hours, holding on a groin that wouldn't stop bleeding. Let me tell you what, that femoral artery, those veins in the legs, I can't remember. It's late in my shift, okay? I know it. I'm tired. Anyway, the vasculature in the leg, it really bleeds. Bleeds well. Someone could bleed out very quickly from that. Probably like a couple of minutes, really. I would really suggest to all the healthcare organizations out there that if you have knowingly MAGA employees, that you terminate them. They're not safe people to take care of other people. You can't have people who have open racism in the healthcare system. I mean, we already know that exists, because if you're a black woman in healthcare, you know. But if you're openly MAGA at this point and you're supporting the murdering of people, you don't deserve to be in healthcare. You should have your license removed. That's so disappointing. And I remember working with them. So annoying.
Wow. Am I the only one who thought that he was describing himself for the most part? I can't be. Y'all let me know in the comment section. Now, this isn't somebody drunk ranting at a bar. This is a medical professional calmly explaining how fast someone can bleed out, and then turning around and suggesting entire groups of people shouldn't be allowed to work in healthcare because we're MAGA. That's not frustration, man. That's ideologically. Look, I can't even say the word. That's ideology. Jeez. You got me over here forgetting how to talk. That's ideology crossing into power, you know. But nobody misunderstood the words. They understood the intent, because when politics convinces you certain people don't deserve care, you're no longer talking about opinions. You're talking about danger. Now, I want you to contrast that with reality on the ground.
Hey, I need you to back up. You need to back up. Stay safe. They're pointing handguns at the drivers in the vehicle right now. Hey, get back. You guys need to stay back. You can record, but you gotta be back.
Get out. Hey, open your fucking door.
I need you to back up a little bit more. Hey, get back.
Hey, get the fuck back.
Back.
All right, turn around.
Hey, no, don't get on the road. Stay back over here. Okay. You guys can take pictures, you just need to stay back. I see your press, you're good.
Checking for ID. That's fine. I see
you.
you. I recognize you. Push your creds down. You're fine. If you got creds, pull them out. I got you.
Thank you.
Legitimate, please.
We're for AB.
Okay. A lot of fake ones out there. So you know, these guys were all threatening us yesterday with handguns. So
These people are threatening you with handguns? Yeah.
Handguns, like threatening.
We know.
So.
Oh, you mean like with hand symbols?
Pulling them out, trying to engage us.
Pulling out literal guns?
No. Assuming that we were going to do something. So that's why they're being ID'd right now.
Now, this is what escalation actually looks like. I tell y'all, not the hashtags, not the chants, not TikTok. This is what happens when activists stop observing and start interfering. Following vehicles, surrounding agents, trying to control movement. In a moment, authority pushes back. The narrative always flips. Suddenly, it's fascism. It's overreach. But notice something very important. The chant stops when enforcement begins. And that divide, chaos versus control, runs straight into politics.
Did you plan to apologize to the family of Alex Peretti?
For what?
For, labeling him an assassin with ill intent.
Well, again, I just described to you what I said about Alex Peretti, which is that he's a guy who showed up with ill intent to an ICE protest.
No, but if it is
He's
determined, if it's determined that his civil rights were violated by this FBI investigation, will you apologize to that?
So, if this hypothetical leads to that hypothetical leads to another hypothetical,
it's a real case
will
that's
I
open.
do a thing? And again, like I said, we're going to let the investigation.
Did you plan to apologize to the family?
Man, I hate how they cut off this clip, but I love how JD Vance is, man, he is no nonsense. For what? 3 words for what, huh? That wasn't confusion. That was refusal. Refusal. Come on, man. I can't talk today. What's going on? A refusal to accept the narrative before facts are settled. A refusal to perform remorse on command. And whether you agree with him or not, is why that moment hit so hard, because it exposed that expectation. That expectation that certain people must apologize immediately, while others are never questioned at all. And when that expectation isn't met, obviously the temperature rises.
These people, every single one of them, has to be held accountable for the crimes, for the terror, and for the murders that are happening to our own people in this country. We're taking action today because the stakes could not be higher. We mourn both of these 2 Americans today, and we find that these shootings cannot be justified. We also know they were part of a broader pattern of escalating unlawful violence by the Trump administration and DHS to intimidate dissent. Now, this administration then lied about the events and is now obstructing independent investigations to cover up misconduct and deny accountability to the victims and to the public. They've weaponized the Department of Justice to silence protesters, observers, and, of course, journalists. But I also remind folks that Donald Trump won't be president forever. Kristi Noem won't be the secretary forever.
That sucks.
And when you serve this country in an elected office or in uniform, you swear an oath to the Constitution. You pledge to work for all Americans. You don't get a license to kill, and there's no absolute immunity. We're going to stand up for the rights of our communities, and we believe strongly that we need to hear the stories of those that are in front of us today.
We can agree that words matter, right? When lawmakers start talking about murders, terror, and license to kill, they're not calming anything down. They're quite literally pouring fuel on it. I'm not tripping, right? It's like literally just gassing it up, because those words don't stay in hearing rooms. They travel. They show up in protests. They show up in confrontations. They also show up in the minds of people who think chaos is justified. And most Americans, they don't talk like that. They think simpler.
No, but genuinely though, this whole illegal immigrant conversation is
Transition
very
all wrong.
interesting, because I cannot believe that I live amongst people who actually think people shouldn't have to go through the proper processing in order to become a citizen, to have the right to live here. It doesn't matter how fast or how slow the system is or the process is. Why can't y'all follow rules? It's a rule. Do you know what I mean? What are we, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand why it's such a big fucking deal. I don't understand why you guys are acting like this is a foreign concept. You can't go to any other country and do this. Do you know what I mean? You can't. So I don't understand how, genuinely, why is it a problem? Because it's breaking up families. Well, then you shouldn't have fucking came here to begin with. And then the same people who have a problem with this are the same people that hate this country and think this is the worst country ever. Why would you want people to live in a country that you hate? You guys make absolutely no sense. And it genuinely, it's really scary to witness this mental illness. On one hand, you guys hate the country, you think it's so bad, you think it's terrible, you think it's the worst country ever, it's so racist, it's so this, it's so that, they take away opportunities, it's so unequal, all these women, we're all oppressed, black people are oppressed, POC's oppressed, everyone's fucking oppressed, everyone's so oppressed, but then, oh yeah, we want everyone to come in here, and everyone deserves to be in here. Why does everyone deserve to be in a country that sucks? Huh? That doesn't make sense. you guys need to really think about what you say. It doesn't make sense, right? Like, spell it out for me. Like, please explain why you think it's okay for people to be here illegally, for one. And for two, why are you in support of people being in a country that you think is the worst country on earth? You know?
This is why that clip resonates. I'll explain. No policy jargon here. No outrage theater. Just a basic principle people live by every day. Rules exist. Lines exist. Consequences, for God's sake, they exist. All right? Break them, and you don't get to act shocked when enforcement shows up. That logic is an extreme. It's normal, if you ask me. And when regular Americans are arguing about families, others are exploiting the system entirely.
This is also breaking. The U.S. Attorney's Office announcing charges in connection with an alleged fraud scheme. It involved more than 100 stolen identities used to obtain over $1 million in SNAP and pandemic unemployment benefits from more than half a dozen states.
Raul Fernandez Vicioso, a naturalized citizen from the Dominican Republic. Fernandez Vicioso and his co-defendants, two of whom do not have legal immigration status and one is a green card holder, used the stolen EBT cards to purchase large quantities of expensive bulk food items.
Foley says the suspects used that food to stock a restaurant owned by the lead defendant. This is also breaking. The U.S. Attorney's Office announcing charges.
Now, this is where anger shifts from emotional to financial, because this isn't abstract. This is money, taxpayer money, stolen identities, fraudulent benefits, cash wired out the country constantly. And when people say, you know, the system is being abused, this is what they mean. Not hypotheticals, not stereotypes, but documented cases. But fraud isn't the only thing being organized, y'all.
I'm a journalist, and I'm wondering if there's someone I can speak to. Is there someone that I can speak to?
Yeah, I think they might be like on the other side of the park, actually.
No.
Yeah.
They said you would be here.
Oh no, but other side of the park's actually.
Why are you so upset? Why are you so angry?
I was angry right here.
What? You seem like really jittery, like upset.
Oh, you're just annoying. That's all.
Oh, why am I annoying?
Meet Naftali Aaron Kranz. He's a paid protester through and through. Here's him posting on LinkedIn to hire paid protesters for the company he works for called Get Free. Listen to this. Get Free is hiring for part-time mobilization support contractor. That just means paid protester. We're seeking out people with 4+ years of experience in leading direct action and large-scale mobilizations, demonstrations, protests, and civil disobedience, which just means experience getting arrested. Compensation is $3,500 to $4,200 a month for an average of 20 hours a week. Get Free on their website calls themselves a grassroots organization, when Naftali and others are literally being paid to protest. Get Free wants to, quote, undo white supremacy. Naftali thinks one of the best ways to do that is to celebrate vandalism, saying Crown Heights stay winning after someone threw an egg at a stranger's Cybertruck and placed dog feces on it. Here's Naftali at an Abolish the Police rally. You can see he's not leading the protest, just blending in amongst the other recruits. He can get his photo op later because the way this works is combining all the leftist causes together to make the individual causes look bigger than they are. And of course he works with a DSA, which is why I ran into him at this DSA Tax the Rich rally. On LinkedIn, you can see Naftali frequently doing his paid protester posts saying, come work with and help us expand our effort to win reparations across the country. And Naftali is recruiting nationwide in Chicago, the Bay Area, and Baltimore. Now let's see what happens when we click on one of these links attached. It's a 9-week contract, part-time, paying $3,400 in stipends, issued bi-weekly, and they're looking for someone excited about experimentation and will recruit people and train them to drive turnout to events. We see Nicole Carty at the top of the Get Free movement. She says the George Floyd protests were the reason Biden won the 2020 election. Now we can see that these protest NGO groups are about one thing: getting Democrats elected. So it's only fitting that donations to Get Free are funneled through Act Blue, who is under investigation by the Department of Justice for foreign contributions. Act Blue has funneled billions of dollars for activist groups like Indivisible Twin Cities, who is orchestrating the resistance on ICE agents in Minneapolis. Indivisible has been caught paying protesters, and they've received over $7.6 million from the Open Society Foundation, funded by George Soros.
All right, well, I had to go for a stand here.
Yeah, this is the moment the curtain completely slips. When protesters become a paid position, and activism has a salary, when job listings explain how to disrupt, that's not spontaneous outrage, that's infrastructure. And infrastructure doesn't appear overnight, which brings us to the visuals nobody can explain away.
Okay, people, here's the proof they're busting them in. You see? See the bus?
San Francisco, local 39.
San Francisco?
New Jersey district.
Jersey! Wow, awesome. Nice. They got hats over there for free, for sale, and signs for free. See? They're busting them in from all over, dude. I told you guys, nobody wants to believe me. Nobody wants to believe me. See what I'm saying? But look. I'll show you later, but I was filming me, sir, but thank you. You're handsome. Handsome guy, big, strong guy. Got a lady here, too. Lady officer, thank you. Okay, people, here's the proof.
Bust-in protesters are getting dropped off at Target. Different states, different buses, but the same message. So this isn't local frustration bubbling up organically. This is coordination. And once people see it, really see it, the illusion breaks. But here's what doesn't get enough attention.
Sworn duties to enforce immigration law that Congress passed is unacceptable. And it's shameful and incomprehensible to me that this unlawful and threatening behavior is being tolerated by anyone. As far as what I saw yesterday with the roadblocks being set up, you're not going to stop ICE. You're not going to stop Border Patrol. The only thing you're doing is irritating your community and want to go get groceries or pick their children up or whatever. I talked to the chief of police, and he committed to taking swift action on those illegal roadblocks. They're illegal. We shouldn't tolerate them. Again, a complete drawdown is going to depend on the cooperation, continued cooperation of local and state law enforcement, and the decrease of the violence, the rhetoric, and the attacks against ICE and Border Patrol. The federal law enforcement personnel, ICE and CBP, and other partner agencies are patriots. And they've carried out their duties patriotically.
This is the quiet part no one likes to highlight. When enforcement is firm, the roadblocks, they disappear. When authority is clear, interference, it stops. No speeches, just results. So here's the full picture. You've got professionals crossing ethical lines. Ethical, come on. Look, I can read, I can talk. I don't know what's happening. Politicians in flaming situations instead of diffusing them. Also organize money behind grassroots chaos. And at the same time, enforcement is finally pushing back, as we can see. I told y'all, I haven't said this in a while, but this isn't left versus right anymore. This is order versus disorder. And the question isn't who's louder. It's actually who's in control. So I want you to comment order if you made it to the end of this video, which is something I'm going to need. Y'all be safe. Go check on somebody today. You can quite literally be saving their life. I need to give me something to eat. I'm starving this morning. Peace.